everybody has before the training. Okay. And in between, if anybody has any questions, you can just ask me as well. Right. So the first thing is that what all will be taught in the course. Okay, this is generally the starting point, and everybody has this question that fine, what all will we be learning in order to learn Selenium? Right. Answer is quite simple. Java, WebDriver, frameworks, Maven, and test. Not Ant. Ant is nobody uses Ant these days. Earlier it was used. Okay. So we'll be learning all these things. Okay. And will I get access to the videos? Yes, you will get access to the videos, the pre-recorded videos which we have in the course, plus the recordings of the current batch as well. You'll get a user ID and password and you can access them. Okay, and we record all the classes. The current class also I'm recording, so you'll get the access to that. Okay. And then generally the question is Java programming required? I don't know programming. Look, this is a common question by almost everyone because most of the people are manual testers. They don't know coding. Okay. And they are not
Right.
aware of Java, or there are people who have done Java. Guys, you can keep your microphones on mute. In case you have any questions, you can unmute yourself and then you can ask a question. Okay. So please, I request you to keep your microphones on mute. Fine. In case you have any questions, you can definitely ask me. Right. Is Java required? I don't know programming. Okay. Look, the thing is, you cannot do without programming. Okay, Java is required. There is no doubt about it that whatever scripts we are going to write, we are completely going to write in Java language, but we will teach you Java in the training. I'm going to give you exercises as well, quizzes as well, which will help you to get a good hand at core Java. Okay, in Selenium, what you need is that you need core Java. Okay, and that even you don't need a complete core Java. You can say 80% or 70% of core Java you need. Okay, so I'll tell you, and I'll also give you some pre-recorded videos on Java which you can watch on the weekends or something. Okay, so that's the thing. And the next question, I'm assuming that at least you know basic programming. Okay, I'm assuming that at least you are having uh, knowledge of what if statements are, what for loops are, what while loops, basic functions, variables. You have done little bit of programming. I am assuming that. Okay, right. So after that, I need to help. I need help in my project, or I need to clear the interview. Look, this is generally the next question by almost everyone. Right. So, hold on. Look, if you have a project in hand and if you want to do that project and you're learning Selenium for that, or if you want to clear an interview, certainly this course will help you out. Okay. In order to learn this tool, maybe it will take you just 3 weeks to just learn this tool. Okay. But if you have to learn it to a level that you can work on a project or clear an interview, okay, it will take you, I guess, minimum to minimum 10 weeks. Okay. If you want to learn it to a level that you can sit down in an interview in front of a person who's and compete with people who are having say 2 to 3 years of experience in Selenium. Okay, it is going to take minimum 10 weeks of practice for that. Okay, this tool is not uh, difficult. Okay, Selenium is certainly easy to learn. All right, it's not a difficult tool, but the problem arises is that there are two problems. Okay, the first problem is the programming language, which is the hindrance of most of the testers. And the second thing is that the vastness. It's vast. Okay, there are lots of things. Okay, what do I mean by saying that it's vast? All right. Uh, you know, let me just explain you with the help of a diagram. I'm just taking some time to explain you things which we are going to do and what we are falling into because this is the first day. Okay, I don't want to just directly jump over to the tool itself. Okay, look, if you are a automation tester, okay, if you are a Selenium automation tester, and if a client comes to you, okay, and he tells you that fine, these are say 100 test cases, functional test cases, please automate these 100 test cases. Okay, then of course you have to, um, you know, apply some approach to automate the 100 test cases because when we are automating the 100 test cases, like there are different requirements. Okay, the first requirement can be that you should be able to batch run the tests. Okay, that is run all the tests together. Okay, so sometimes you want to optionally run the tests. That is out of 100 test cases, the client says that fine, go and just execute the smoke tests, which are maybe 30 test cases, and the remaining 70 you want to ignore. And when the test cases are running, you need to generate some HTML reports. Okay, HTML reports basically means that you know what happened to each and every test case. Okay, for example, um, out here, this is a sample report. Okay, so a simple test case, a login test with some uh, with a report that fine, we are starting, we are some executing, we are opening the browser. So you need a report like this, and you know screenshots should also be embedded inside the reports. Okay, so you want to generate proper HTML reports with the screenshots of the errors. You want to manage your data. You want to keep the data in a JSON file or a Excel file. Okay, so there are lots of requirements. All right, you want connectivity with Jenkins, GitHub, Grid, Selenium Grid. Grid is used to run the test cases parallelly, majorly to save time and all. Okay, so these are not just five requirements. There are many other things. Now, Selenium as a tool is not capable of doing these things. Okay, so if you have, say, multiple test cases, these are your test cases. Okay, these are your automation scripts. Script one or test case one or test case two, test case three, four. Then when you are running these tests, you want, as I told you, you want to generate reports, you want to manage data, you want to connect with Jenkins, GitHub. Okay, so Selenium as a tool will only, you can say, be there in this red box. Okay, Selenium has got commands which can help you interact with the browser. If you want to click on a link on a browser, Selenium can click on that. If you want to open the browser, Selenium can open the browser. If you want to type something in the text field, Selenium can type in the text field. So the work of Selenium is just to interact with the browser. It will not generate reports, manage data, all that stuff. To do all these things, you have to have a centralized controller. This centralized controller is TestNG, or people also use JUnit, or there are BDD frameworks like Cucumber. Okay, so this centralized controller, it calls the test cases in some order. It generates the reports, it manages the data, it passes the data to the test cases, it helps you connect in the connection as well. Okay, so this course or this, it's not just about learning Selenium. Okay, it's something like you want to learn how to build a car. Okay, then Selenium is just like the engine of the car. Okay, so you'll have to learn how to build the engine as well. Plus, you'll have to learn how to build other things as well. Okay, so that's why I told you it's a little vast, but it's easy. Okay, if anyone has got any questions, then you can please let me know. Anyone?
Ashish, which frameworks we will be covering during the discussion?
Okay, this is your question, and there's another question that will you be covering Git, GitHub, Jira, Confluence, or any? Look, I'll be covering Git, Jenkins along with this training. Okay. Jira, I am not doing so. ALM is not used. ALM cannot be connected with Selenium that easily. Okay. And will you be covering Cucumber page object model in online class? Okay, this is another question. Will you be covering Cucumber page? Or the another question which was asked from me is that which framework you will be covering? Look, there are different frameworks. Okay, you have got data-driven framework. You have got hybrid framework. You have got page object model. You have got a Cucumber. You have got a Cucumber with page object model. Okay, all these frameworks are covered in the pre-recorded sessions as well. Okay, if you refer to the pre-recorded sessions which we are having on the website, okay, see, these are the frameworks. These are covered in the pre-recorded sessions. These are quite vast, like every framework takes 8 to 10 hours in the online class to actually train on. Okay, so I will be covering any, guys, please keep your microphones on mute. Guys, please, your microphones, please keep them on mute. Okay, so I'll be covering any one of them as per your demand. Like somebody asks, sometimes people ask data driven, sometimes people ask a Cucumber, sometimes TestNG with hybrid framework. Okay, I'll be covering as per your demand. I prefer to cover data driven. The reason for that is very simple. If you learn how to build the data driven framework, then learning how to build other frameworks, it really becomes very, very easy. Data driven framework is the base. Okay. Whatever you do in the data driven framework, 80% of the things are same in all the other frameworks. Okay. But at times people like the last batch agreed to do the data driven framework. Sometimes people don't agree, that say that fine, we just want to directly do the Cucumber, or we just want to do the hybrid test ng. Then I do that as well. That's not a problem. Okay. And it's not feasible for me to cover all these things. They are very, very vast. In this, look, in this training, nearly 50% of my time is going to go on a framework, and 50% of my time is going to go on teaching you Selenium commands and Java and the basics. Okay. So we are going to do a framework extensively. If we are having 30 classes, then or 32 classes, then nearly 15 classes will just be on the framework. Okay. And the remaining ones will be on the other things like WebDriver, TestNG, Grid, Maven, Git, Jenkins, and all that things. Right. So could you also provide some kind of live project? A live project is basically a framework, and we are going to do that. Whatever we are going to do, we are going to do in a practical manner only. Okay, right. So anyone with anything, any doubt, anything, please let me know. Because this is the first day. Right. There are people who are absolutely not at all aware of what they are going into. There are people who are aware of it. They have tried learning it before. So there are people from different platforms in this training. So if you have any questions, you can ask me by unmuting or you can just message me over here. There is a messaging section as well. Okay. So
Yes, I
yeah,
want to say one. You are assuming we are very much comfortable and knowing about the loops. You said if, do,
yeah.
while. So just wanted to let you know. I know the concept of and syntax of loops, but not very much. I mean, able
That's
to
fine.
do the
At
loops.
least you know about it, right? Sometimes there are people who directly come into the training and they have never done programming.
I
Okay,
done, but I'm not that much, comfortable
that
with
is
loop.
fine. That is fine. That's not a problem. Okay, at least you know what it is. It's something which
Yes,
revolves again
yes.
and again. It's first, I'm saying that at least you should be knowing that what is programming, maybe C language or something you have done before, so that you know at least how it works. Okay, you have an idea in your mind. Okay. So, anyways, okay, this is the day by day schedule which I have prepared and which I try to follow. Okay, so we'll start with the basics right now, and then we'll learn about object-oriented programming and Java and constructors, and then gradually from fourth, fifth day, we'll jump deeper into Selenium. Look, it's not that I'm going to cover Java first and then Selenium. Okay, no. We will learn Java and we'll see parallelly how the concepts are implemented in Selenium. Okay. Look, if you go to the official website of Selenium, all right, if that is selenium.dev, I'll tell you, I'll give you. Okay. If you go here and if you go to the downloads section. Yeah, I'll share you the schedule. This schedule I'm going to share it with you. There are many changes in this schedule. This is just a rough thing which I've kept for myself so that I don't forget anything. Plus, there are other things as well which have changed a little bit instead of out here. So, anyways, I'll give you the same Excel. Don't worry. Okay. So, right. So out here, look, if you look at this, they have written the latest stable version 3.141.59. Okay. Look, Selenium is, hold on. Selenium has evolved over a period of time and it got stabilized. Since I guess 2019, 3.141.59 is the most stable version of Selenium. Okay. And then the new version came up last year, which is Selenium 4. This is unstable. Okay. So although we will be using this version in the project or in our learning, but if you go to any company and they want you to implement a project, we will be using this particular version in that case. You should be using this particular version in that case because it is stable. Selenium Grid gives you lots of issues in this version. The commands, however, 99% of the commands are same. They aren't different. That's why I cover the latest RC1. Okay, for learning purpose, you can start off with it. And there's a question being asked. Yes, is the class on weekdays? Yes, it is on weekdays, Monday to Friday Indian time, which is Sunday to Thursday US time. Okay, so that's about the version. And if you go to the down, if you go down, or just a minute, if you go to the documentation over here. Okay, so they have written some commands and they have given good documentation of Selenium out here. Okay, you can refer this as well. Along with it, there are API docs for Java mentioned over here under the download section. This is the official documentation. Okay, if you go to the API docs and you switch over to the frames view, this is the frames view. So this is the documentation or technical documentation, you can say. Okay, this is the technical documentation of Selenium WebDriver with Java. You cannot understand it. Many of you will not be able to understand it because you need to understand the concepts of object-oriented programming. Oops, Java object-oriented programming. So this is what is required. The complete Selenium is object oriented by nature. Fine. And in Java, you need to understand the concepts of object oriented programming before jumping over to Selenium. And that's where, that's what we are going to do. Okay. We are first from we will start with the concepts of object oriented programming, these interfaces and all these things, day 3, 4, 5. Sorry, 2, 3, 4. All these 3 days are completely in OOPS. Okay, so let's start off. Let's look for Java first. Install Java. Look, install Java 8 version. Although Java 11, 12, 13, 14 are also available. Okay, but Java 8, JDK 8 is the most stable version. It is supported till 2030. Okay, and Selenium also supports that. If you want to use JDK 11, 11 is also stable. You can use that. Okay, so just need to go to the Oracle website and scroll down. Okay, and you can download for Windows. Okay, you can download for 64-bit OS right from this particular link, and you'll get the JDK exe. Okay, and once you install the exe, you will get a folder in your PC. See, these are the two folders you get, JDK and JRE. Okay, under C drive program files, Java. Right. And note down the path of JDK folder. Copy the path and set it in the environment variables. Okay, you right click on your computer, my PC, go to the properties. All right. And you can go to advanced system settings, which is out here. All right. And click on environment variables. Okay. And you have to create a new environment variable known as Java home. And you have to give the path of the JDK over here, capital Java underscore home. Okay. And scroll down, you will see a path variable. This will be a pre-existing variable. Edit it. Okay. Create a new path variable. Give the path of JDK folder followed by slash bin. So basically you have to give the path of the bin folder of JDK in path. Okay. So once you do this, right, and once you do this, hold on, I'm answering your question, Shraddha. Hold on. You click on OK, 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 and you go to your command prompt. You open a command prompt and just type Java. If you get a message like this, that means Java is installed. Okay, correctly and configured. Right. And there's a question being asked. IMC Willow version is already there. You have 16 and you have JRE only. Okay. Java has two flavors basically. One is JDK and one is JRE. I guess if you have never installed Java, many times JRE is present on the system. JRE is required in general operations of the browsers sometimes or for some softwares. So JRE sometimes unexpectedly when you install a software, you really don't know JRE gets installed on your system. Okay, but for the development purposes, you also need JDK. So that is why I asked you to download JDK. If you have Java on your machine, just uninstall that. Okay, from add remove programs and install JDK 8. Okay, not 16. 16 is not good. Okay, 11 or 8 you can install. All right. So once you do that, you have to configure it in the environment variables. All right. So once Java is done, the second thing is you need to have editor for Java language. Right? There are multiple editors like I also use this one. This is IntelliJ. Okay. But IntelliJ is a very advanced editor. It is for developers and all. Okay. And I also use something known as Eclipse. You should be starting off with Eclipse. It's a good editor for writing scripts, Selenium scripts. Okay, and you can download Eclipse. Okay, you can just go to Google type. I hope many of you must have downloaded Eclipse. Okay, so you can download Eclipse from here. Okay, install it and open it. And once you open it, you'll get a window like this. This is the project workspace path explorer. You can say it is known as the IDE launcher. Okay, you have to give the path where you want to have the workspace, the place where you will be storing all the projects and all. Okay, so I'll call it September Selenium September, or it's almost October 2021. Okay, guys, I request you to keep the microphone on mute. If you have any questions, you can definitely ask me by unmuting, or you can use the messaging section and ask me a question as well. Okay, so you have to give the exact location where you want to store all the code and the projects which you'll be making in Eclipse. Okay, and then you click on launch and Eclipse will start up. So as I told you, the major focus is to first learn OOPS. what basically are objects, static, non-static, okay, interfaces. And then we will be jumping over properly into Selenium. Okay, parallelly we'll do Selenium as well, but to jump in properly, you need to learn these things. Okay, so all right. So you first, this is Eclipse. Okay, this is the major central window where you'll be doing all the coding and all. Okay, so you can just create a new Java project. Okay, or you can go to File Other. Under Java, you will see Java project. Fine. Click on Next and give your project a name, Day 1. All right. And click on Next and finish. So this is the project. This is JRE system library. This is basically Java which is installed on your system. Okay, it picks it up automatically from the environment variable path which we had set up. Okay, and this is the source folder in which we'll be keeping all the Java files and all. If you right click on the project, you will see lots of options. One of the options is this properties. Okay, and we'll be looking at this a lot. Right, this is the path where the project is lying on the hard drive. You can open this path, you can click on this icon and Day 1 project will open over here. And you will be able to see the many folders over here, out of which only the source folder is visible out here. Okay, what are other things? We will gradually look at them. Right, so let's just make a first Java program. Okay, I'll call it as Selenium Basics. It's known as a class. Okay, file, a new Java file is known as a class. You can create a new class. All right, and I'll call it Selenium Basics. Check on this checkbox, public static void main. Okay, please keep this checkbox checked and you will have a Java file generated. Okay, just a minute. Let me increase my font size. All right. So you have this public class Selenium Basics, and inside this you have a function main. What is static? What is public? Okay, we will talk about this in some time in 1 or 2 days. So just accept this function as it is. This is the main function in which the control comes for the first time when you run the program. Almost every programming language has a main function. Okay, if you want to print something, the command is system.out.println.
Ashish, why do we checkbox the in the previous screen? Why do we do the check?
This function generates automatically.
Oh,
Otherwise, you would have got an empty class.
okay, then we need to type. Right?
Yeah.
Okay.
So system.out.println is the command to print something in Selenium or in Java. The command is shortcut is you type syso and hit Control spacebar of the keyboard. Okay, you'll get this command. And to run it, there is a small run button on the top. This green one, you can click on this. It will print Hello Selenium at the bottom in the console. Or you can right click over here and you can select run as Java application. You can right click on the file and you can run it as a Java application. But to run a file, it should have the main function. Okay, this is the function in which the control reaches for the first time. Okay, so as I told you, I am assuming a little bit that you know what an integer is. It can store numbers. You know what is a string. It can store list a series of characters. Okay, Basics, I'm assuming you at least know that, know these things, right? Now, when you are running a program, it of course prints something, right? And you can have, you can print the value of this integer as well, a, and it's going to print this 100. Okay, pretty simple, not a very big deal, right? Now, before I move ahead, let me tell you little bit about Eclipse. Okay, the first thing is that sometimes people close this console window by mistake, or they close this package explorer in which you have the file structure by mistake, and then they really don't know how to bring it back. Okay, you can go to window, show view, and you can select package explorer. It will come back. Okay, or you can go to window, show view, and you can click on console. It will come back. Okay, so from window show view options, you can bring these things back in case you accidentally close these things. Right. Okay. And just a minute. Did anybody ask anything? Yeah. No. Okay. Then after that, let me open up another Eclipse and a workspace from a previous batch. Sometimes you have bigger projects. Okay. And you make a lot of Java files. Right. For example, this is the workspace from one of the batches. Okay. And in this, we had this project core data driven framework in which we had so many Java files. Okay. And I am opening Java files over here as well. Okay. Suppose if I am on a project and I am having multiple Java files, sometimes the files which you have opened over here, you want to relate them into the workspace. That is inside the file explorer, that where they are actually in the file explorer. So you should always have these two arrow icons, link with editor. You should have them have this icon clicked. When you have this clicked, whichever file you open on the right side, suppose if I am opening this file XLS reader, then that file will be highlighted on the left hand side in the explorer. If I open this file, then this will be highlighted. If I open this one, this will be highlighted. So this is the importance. Okay, so you have to have this link with editor always clicked. Okay, I'll close this. So please have these two arrows always clicked. This will save lot of your time. Right. And suppose if I have one more file over here, new class known as say print name. And I'll just go and print Selenium in this, and if I run this, this will print Selenium. So if I open Selenium basics, say Selenium basics gets highlighted. If I open print name, it gets highlighted. Okay, now the next thing is, if you look at your day one project, it's got a source folder and you will be able to see both the Java files over here. Okay, you can open the Java file as well. Right. Along with it, you will be seeing a bin folder as well. I think somebody asked a question. I am having an error. Must declare named package. Hold on, Aman. I'll see that. When I teach you in the class, please don't do the things parallelly. You will get stuck. Listen to it. I'll give you the recordings of the every class which we are doing. You will get it in email during the initial classes. Okay. You can refer that and then try to practice. Okay. So in the bin folder over here, you have got two files. These are known as the class files. Print name dot class and Selenium basics dot class. These two class files, uh, they get generated. Okay, whenever you compile the program, okay, all the Java files are converted into class files basically. Okay, if I make a third Java file over here, okay, say Selenium learning, and if I just print inside it learning, and if I run it, you will see Selenium learning.class file generated. Okay, now what is this class file? Okay. Yeah, Abhijit, I have already added you. Okay. What are these class files? Look. When you have got multiple Java files in a project, then every Java file gets converted into a class file. So these all will be your class files. Class files are like executable files. Okay, when the developers they say they are deploying the code on the server, they actually deploy the class files. And when there are so many class files in a project, okay, we put all the class files in a single file. That file is known as a jar file. Okay, it's something like you can say zipping everything together. Okay, because when the projects are huge, you have got 1000 Java files, you'll have 1000 class files. So you put all the single class file all the class files in a single file known as a jar file, and then you will deliver this jar file to the client for execution. Okay, similarly, like if you look at your workspace, day one, this is JRE system library, the Java which was installed on your machine. If you expand it, see these are the different jar files. Java is nothing but combination of multiple jar files. Each jar file will have class files which are inbuilt and whose functionalities we can use. Okay, each jar file have multiple classes. For example, if I just write over here new date. Okay, what is this new command and date? Don't try to get into it right now. But date is one of the class files which is lying somewhere inside the jars of Java language. These jars automatically come to you when you install Java. Okay, and if I run this program, this will print the current date, time, time zone, year, everything. So I never had to do the hard work to print the current date. Okay, the functionality was inbuilt. The date class, it is inbuilt. It is present somewhere inside this particular JRE system jars, and I am just using it. So there's a predefined command to print the current date. Similarly, in Selenium, all commands are inbuilt. Okay. There is no rocket science. To open a browser, there is a command. To click on a link, there is a command. To interact with different sections of the browser, there are different commands. Only thing is you have to first download Selenium jars and you have to use object-oriented programming. Okay, to download the Selenium jars, you can simply go to the Selenium official website and go to the downloads section. Scroll down, they have a Java section. Okay, and you can click on this release and you can save this zip file and like it will come in the downloads section over here. You extract it. Oh, sorry, I'll extract it under this. Right. So this is the folder. I'm going to keep it over here. Okay. And if you open this folder, you will see a lot of jar files. These are the jars given by the Selenium guys. In Eclipse, by default, the jars which you get are from the Java. Okay, when you install Java, you get these jars. These are the jars which are given by the Selenium guys. Okay, there are jars over here, plus there are jars which are also there in the lib folder. So you need to include all these jars in your project to make the project Selenium enabled. Okay, all you need to do is that basically right click on the project, go to the properties, and you will see Java build path option. Click on this sixth one and you will see different tabs. Go to the libraries tab. OK, click on add external jars. And under the download section, no, not on the out here at this location. Go to the location where you have the jars. Include all the jars except the lib folder first. Include all the jars and also include the jars which are there in the lib folder. Don't forget to include the lib folder jars. And that's it. Now your project is Selenium enabled. These are, you will get a section reference libraries under which you will get all the Selenium jar files. So similarly, like we had used the command I had written over here, new date. OK, this was printing the current date time zone. OK, if I just write a Selenium command known as new Firefox driver, and if I run this, this is going to launch a Firefox browser. See, a Firefox browser is launched. OK, in your case, it won't launch because there are many other configurations which have to be done. OK, but all I want to say is that all the commands are inbuilt. You really don't need to invent things. Everything is inbuilt. You just need to learn those commands and learn object-oriented programming. OK, so I taught you basics today. I told you to install JDK, install Eclipse, write some programs, how to what is the concept of jar file. It's a pre-built utility and how you can import the Selenium jars inside Eclipse. OK, so I'll also teach you debugging. I'll teach you debugging tomorrow. So anybody with any questions? Anything?
So Ashish, where do I get the Selenium? The link? Can you paste it in the chat?
Which link?
For downloading the Selenium. Yeah, right.
Just go to the official website selenium.dev/downloads. This URL.
So it's gonna be the same for Mac and PC, or it's a different?
Same.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, the question is being asked is that um, Most of the companies are using BDD, Cucumber, Page Object Model. Would you be able to take? I can teach you. I have no problems. Okay, but as beginners, I always tell people to learn data driven because that is the initial basic thing which is used in almost every framework. We can learn BDD as well. That's not a problem. I know BDD is lot in use, especially BDD with page object model. It's used a lot. Okay, I can. It's not a problem. So anybody with anything, any questions? I will send you the recording of this class, and for tomorrow, you will also get a new invitation. Okay, right.
Hey Ashish, this is just a reminder, Abhijit. I'm not getting any email. You just share the link on WhatsApp. I joined that, but just do
Yesterday in
include
the
me.
evening, we have sent out an email to you. Just check it again.
Not
Yesterday
received.
in the evening. Just check your spam folder then. We have sent you. Okay. And yes, you can use IntelliJ instead of Eclipse. It's just an editor, Aruna. Okay. Can we use JDK 16? You can use JDK 16 if it is installed. Okay. But I've seen it giving issues. Okay, look, what has happened is that since past, I can say 1.5 years, 8 new versions have come up. JDK has gone up from 10 to 16. They have launched lot of versions and it has affected the stability of JDK as well. Okay, 2 years back we had JDK 8 only. In 2 years they have gone from 8 to 16, 2.5 years you can say. So you can use 8 or you can use 11. These look stable to me at least. Okay. No, Rahul, if it gets deleted, it gets deleted. Okay, fine, Abhijit, I'll check it out. Okay, if it gets deleted, it gets deleted. You cannot retrieve it, Rahul. So I'll stop the recording as well. Right.